Almost out of time on the play clock. Snap back. He's got time. Good protection. Deep ball to the middle for Ferguson. Intercepted. At the 25-yard line, the Longhorn, Zadai Barron, riding with Ferguson in double coverage. And the one thing Dak could not do right there, that is his first interception since the end of the Chicago game.
So the streak is broken. Dak Prescott with the MVP level play. We talked about Baker Mayfield's MVP chances taking a hit, and that happened for number 4 yesterday. It's time for Star Down, Star Down. You can throw in Star Ups if you want here on the morning show, official home of the Cowboys. And Star Up, Star Down is brought to you by Wild Fork Foods and Johnson Fitness and Wellness. I'm not going in any particular order here. We played the Dak clip, so I'm going to start with a Star Down for Dak Prescott. The numbers on the day, and Dak, a couple times this year, I think it's at least 3 times, when he throws that interception, it's like it feels like it's in a really crucial moment, a last-ditch effort, or a moment in a game where you definitely need points. But it's hard for me to sit there and go at him after the type of season that he's had overall. 19 of 31 for 188, 6.1 yards a pass, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was sacked twice. The QBR was a 65.
That's a super high floor. That's a good QBR. Like that's not like elite.
Yeah.
This is a really high floor. Like that's his bad game, air quote.
I was surprised it was not lower than that. Interception before the half, down 17, approaching Aubrey range. I think we all thought we were going to get the record-breaking attempt that RJ was tweeting about to start off the morning. 3rd and 1, that was tipped. Should that ball have been up higher, trying to throw it to the left? 3rd and 5 to Turpin, down 13 in the third. There's a lot of discussion over this play. The classic, well, wide receiver should have caught it. Got his hands on the ball. It was not the. I think both things are actually true. I can blame Dak and blame Turpin. Yes, Turpin could have definitely caught it. I can see how it was in a really uncomfortable, awkward position where his body weight was going one way and he had to reach back across. But Dak was not able to put a lot on his throws because of this offensive line throughout the day. So that 3rd and 5 to Turpin, down 13 in the third, that really hurt because I believe that was the Brian Schottenheimer punt. After that, then the red zone interception to CD, down 20 points in the fourth quarter. Star down to Dak Prescott for his play. And Dak was asked, all this talk to start off about the defense, what happened to the O?
Yeah, surprised for sure. It's a good word to use. Frustrated as well, frustrating. As you said, right, what we've been doing, what we're capable of doing, didn't really ever get it going. Having an opportunity right there in the first drive of getting down there in the red zone, being able to have a chance to put 7 up and settling for a field goal, that was the start of it. And the rest just kind of followed that and us not making the plays that was necessary. And credit to those guys. Credit to Coach Joseph, defensive coordinator, making it tough on us. And they got the best of us, that's for sure.
He wasn't good. But see, here was the other thing, is that I think he could have been anything short of, elite, anything short of what he did against Green Bay. And this is what we're talking about on Friday.
Every other week.
This is why on Friday I picked Denver's, because it was like, if he didn't do what he did against Green Bay, which felt like that's him playing at like Matrix level, where he's completely anticipating every single, which is not going to be normal, no matter how high a level he's playing, then I didn't think he was going to be able to do enough because they weren't going to be able to push the ball downfield. But there were still some moments. They got to figure out what's wrong with the seam throw. I don't hate the throw to Ferguson there. Like normally, in other years, I wouldn't hate the throw to Ferguson because they hit that so consistently. It's one of the throws that he has the best touch on. It's one of the ones he has the best feel for. And this year, everything is overthrown, underthrown. And there's too much air under it, and so he's open. But then a defender closes and lights Ferguson up as something has gotten broken with that throw, and I don't know what's wrong with it. Everything else he's playing at a really high level. That area right there, that seam throw has killed them this year.
Man, Ferguson did his best Jalen Tolbert impression yesterday, just getting absolutely nothing. One target, absolutely nothing.
Look, the other tight ends, Tony Romo's favorite, Brevin Spann-Ford, and then Schoon almost scoring.
Yeah. Look, I mean, to me, the first star down that pops into my head, not a player, it's a moment. Getting cute down at the goal line. This was early on in the game. It was a 2nd and 1. I mean, you were at the maybe the 1 yard line, and then you try to throw it a couple times. That's getting cute. They rectified it. They rectified it later on in the game. They didn't get cute. Dak snuck it, and then they had another play where they ran to Williams. But you cannot get cute down there. When you're at the 1 yard line, that is a must-score situation.
There you go. That's a star down. Calling a sneak for Dak and almost having him snap an ankle again. I don't need him to sneak the ball ever.
You're done.
Why? Hand the ball off to Lipke, hand the ball off to Javonte, do whatever. Bring Joe Milton in to sneak the ball if you want to sneak the ball. I don't care. You can't, there have been too many instances where on those sneaks, he's overexposed and it's an unnecessary risk for you've got other plays in your bag.
I'm fine with the sneak still. I mean, you should be able to sneak for a damn yard or half an inch, but he's running in the ass of Brock Hoffman.
Right. It should, you should have your legs protected.
That was so ugly, though. Yeah. He's twisting. It's like he was playing Twister.
Yeah.
He folded over like a kitty cat, belly up, trying to reach the ball out then.
Tush push, I feel your ankles are more exposed because you got guys falling, guys push you from behind. On the sneak, I don't know. I feel like your ankles are okay, but maybe not. But I'll tell you, when you're at the 1 yard line, you don't even worry about 4th down. You run that ball 3 times from the 1 yard line, and you either get 6 or you give them the football 9.5 yards away.
Let me keep it down at the 1 for what I think Bobby is going to agree is an early turning point in this game against you. You get the opening interception from Bridges, and you're on the 1 yard line, and I saw 3 different people blamed for the false start. Bobby said Tyler Smith. Someone told me Hoffman. I felt like while watching it, Guyton jumped, somebody jumped, and somebody had the false start. Either way, you're back to the 6 yard line. Right there. You're on the road against the best defense in the National Football League. Early on after a turnover, you have to be up. You should be up 7-0. You back up to the 6, and you end up with a field goal. And that was an early backbreaker and a sign of things to come.
Yeah, they called it initially on Hoffman, and then it was right before the snap of the other play, the official came on the PA and was like, the false start was on 73, and came back and did it. So I hadn't even looked at it yet. I don't know, but I imagine it looks like it's Tyler on this play. It's Guyton or Smith. They both jump at the same time, it looks like they're.
But that moment right there, that crushes you.
Yeah.
That crushes you against that type of defense.
Yeah. You end up moving back 5 yards. You then have to kick the field goal. It's penalties. It's 2 back-breaking penalties. It's that one, and then on the very next drive, you get the 3rd down stop, but James Houston was offside. And once he's offsides, it was 2-3 plays later, R.J. Harvey scored that 40-yard touchdown run.
Yep.
So it's man, you're talking about maybe 7 points and getting the ball back and them not scoring, and the whole game might have been different.
877-881-1053. Peyton, what are the totals coming up with for star down?
251 says star up to Joe Milton for scoring the touchdown there at the end of the game. Star down to Shoddy and all the coaching staff. 817 says star up to the bench for holding up the weight of the dejected Cowboys' bodies. And 817 says star up to the equipment team for getting all the equipment to the game. So there you go.
They did get the equipment there.
Some choppy sarcasm in there. What do you got, Bobby?
The offensive tackles, both of them, Steele and Guyton, they were bad.
And you were worried about that going in, really worried.
It's just they get home so quick, Denver does, and they're so quick off the line of scrimmage, especially Benito. They've got all sorts of different pass rush tools. They know how to set guys up. There were way too many times where even when they were getting the ball away, the big throw to CD early in the game that put him down inside the 10 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was, Guyton almost got Dak destroyed on that one.
The amount of lead that Dak and anticipation that Dak had to put on that throw, it felt like it was a duck that was fluttering on out there, left, because you saw 2 people going at him to bury him, and he did get buried.
There's way too many times in this game where Guyton and Steele were facing Dak because he's dropping back and they're all the way turned around chasing an edge rusher who ran by. Both of them were really, really bad.
Let me ask a really offensive question.
Okay.
Does Tyler Guyton have any mozzie in him? I can't stand
Michigan man.
just
the head hanging,
the body language.
I don't think this actually came up yesterday. I was talking to somebody about it. I don't think it's Mozzie level. Mozzie
any Mozzie.
No, so Mozzie would hang his head a lot. Guyton had a tendency to hang his head a little bit last year. He hasn't this year. Like I don't feel like when I watch him, he's hanging his head. In fact, there's a little bit more of like, I wish I would see a little bit more beating himself up, maybe. And then I don't see a lot of that. So maybe an ambivalence at times, it looks like. I don't know if that's the case. He's not strong enough right now. He doesn't play with enough power. He's not strong enough. And his technique.
6'7".
It's the tours. It's the tours. And then when he's in the weight room, he's distracted by all the tours.
His hands are really bad. And it feels like every single time I watch him, into his pass set, it feels like he's all the way back on his heels and just off balance.
He had another penalty on the second drive. He was beaten on a third down sack. Dak sacked the second drive. And then Steele on the right side, he had a hold that backs them up on 4th and 5. Could have been a bad call. I think Romo was questioning it. He got smoked on a 3rd and 20 by the defensive end. Illegal formation, 2nd and 4 on the 11. You're down 14-3. I don't know whether that was him or Land. They were trying to figure that out. But right there to the tackles, big fat star downs for Steele and Guyton.
Did I hear right on the post that Denver had like 18 pressures?
21.
That
21.
That seems high.
5 were allowed by Steele, 4 were allowed by Guyton.
And then the rest are interior.
3 by Hoffman, 1 by Javonte Williams, 1 by Tyler Smith, 1 by Tyler Booker. Tyler Booker gets a star down, too. I'm stunned he's only credited with 1 quarterback pressure. I saw 4 times where almost right. Maybe his ankle's still not good. I don't know. Because this is a couple times in recent, since he's come back, that I noticed him kind of tripping over his feet on a couple different instances. I may watch it back and say he was better than I thought because it's easy to stand out when I see you falling over like that a few times. He may have been fine all the other plays, but I noticed him falling down and having balance issues a lot.
Nick's in the gun. Safety blitz from the left side by Bell. Throws it in the end zone. Franklin's all alone. Standing all alone. Touchdown Broncos. They blitzed the safety, Marquise Bell, who couldn't be back because he was up. And nobody covered Troy Franklin, and the Broncos are about to be up 14-3.
Every call from Brad is the same. He's like Brian Baldinger slowly dissecting. It's so easy to be like, oh, there's no one within 9 yards of him.
Yeah.
There's him. I see him coming on the blitz, and he was nowhere close to getting there. And Denver goes in for the wide open score. Every call is like the same dejected play-by-play.
Really, it is, because in a lot of respect, a lot of the touchdowns look the same. A lot of the drives look the same.
Yeah, I wonder what the average distance of the closest defender is on receiving touchdowns this year. Like whether even if they catch and they go on the run and like a defender's having to trail behind him, I bet the average distance of the closest defender is the largest in the NFL by a wide margin.
You guys were getting chirped specifically yesterday for calling Bo Nix the check down merchant. Twitter and X, a couple Bronco fans popping up after Bo Nix goes 19-29 for 247, 4 touchdowns. The QBR was an 83.
The Cowboys are a check-down-proof defense. Yeah. That's what that is. Because, his numbers bear it out. I mean, he was, 3.9 yards per pass coming into this game?
The statistics said he checks down more than anybody in the NFL. He checks down more than anybody in the NFL.
He was at 4 yards a pass?
Yeah.
4 yards a pass yesterday?
It was like 4 air yards per pass.
Yeah. Yesterday he was 8.5.
Yeah, it's bad. It's terrible. That's a good number for him. It's terrible for the Cowboys defense. But, that's... What we said wasn't an opinion. He factually checks down.
Out of 36 NFL quarterbacks who qualify, he was 34th in the NFL in percentage of throws that go to the sticks. He doesn't throw to the first down. He throws everything underneath.
I also don't brag dunking on my 5-year-old on a Nerf hoop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You sit there and you wanna bark and talk and strut like a peacock after facing the Cowboys defense. Okay, you were getting shut out by the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart got Russell Wilson's job 2 weeks after 450 yards and 3 touchdowns against Dallas because the Giants realized, that wasn't real. That was 7-on-7.
It's like us bragging about having a decent defense after the Jets and Commanders.
Yeah,
It'd be like the same thing. Be like falling into that. But those were some Bronco fans saying, check that down.
Any NFL quarterback can throw against air. You can do that. And so, like, if they're not, they don't cover. Like the big thing was going to be.
And we're going to address it.
If they took away the run, if Dallas had taken away the run and had put up points and you got Denver into obvious passing situations, Bo Nix doesn't do that yesterday.
I got a perfect example for you. Let's go to, I believe this was the first Denver scoring drive. Okay. There's a 3rd and 7, and Fowler's offsides.
Houston.
Thought it was. I think ESPN had it Fowler on the game. I wrote down Houston too. Then this morning I saw that they said whatever. That makes it a 3rd and 2. The whole playbook is open.
Yeah.
Right, and that's like.
And then Harvey went for 40.
Well, there was a 26-yard pass, and then Harvey went for 40. Yeah. So, but that's like a 2-2 pitch. Or it would have 2-1 pitch, and it's a bad call. It's 2-2. Completely different at-bat versus 3-1.
Jerry Jones on his great, deep defensive line and the rest of the defensive disaster.
Out there, you've got to step up and against the running game. I think we had 10 or 11 plays at almost the half or halfway through the second quarter, over 10 yards or more. And we got to come up and do a better job of run stopping. We knew that if we didn't do that on that front, that it was going to be a long day for us, and that's what it was.
That's the other go-to. We knew this could happen. We knew that they were capable. Like we can't stop it. We don't have the personnel, the coaching to do it. But we knew that Carolina could have been a bad matchup up front with the defensive line. It's like we want some extra credit and brownie points for knowing that someone could put up 40 against you. In terms of the Denver run game overall, they ran for $180, 6.4 a carry. Ugh. Harvey had 6.6 a carry, and then J.K. Dobbins 15 for 111.
16 plays of 10 yards or more, and they ran 57 plays. So it was one out of every, like it was basically a little more than 1 out of every 4 plays were going for 10 yards or more. I mean, you were getting absolutely destroyed.
As for Jerry's pass rush, Bobby, I know you had that as a star down with all the time that Bo Nix was allowed. Let's see. In the statistics, you had 1 quarterback hit. 1 quarterback hit from Donovan Ezeraku compared to 8. Sacks, 0. Broncos, 2. But there was a ton of pressure. You said they had 21 pressures. How many pressures did the Cowboys have?
7. So 3 times as many pressures as you, and it felt like it. But this is, look, I mean, when you see the issues they have getting home, and by the way, I believe they had, let me look this up. I believe it was through the first 3 quarters, they had blitzed 4 times, 3 times, something like that. They just won't blitz. Matt Eberflus will not blitz. Doesn't matter if they're not getting home. He's not going to send any more pressure. I don't know why. And to me,
you know why? Because they have clerks from 7-Eleven that are left back there.
Yeah, he's scared of what's back there.
Yeah, and when they don't blitz, those clerks from 7-Eleven still give up 50-yard touchdowns. So I don't know what the difference is.
You might as well just try it out at this point. You know, maybe
fine, give up 50 points instead of 44. I don't care, but do some blitz. To me,
try it out.
Was it 38% man? You said
it was 38% man by the end of the game. It was not 38% man in reality because they ran man most of the fourth quarter.
Man, instead of padding stats, the Cowboys suck so much defensively. They pad stats in terms of man.
Like, just run man so nobody gives us hell.
Yes,
they're changing the analytics, man. They're changing the analytics. That's what they're doing.
In the first half, they ran man 3 times out of 17 dropbacks, and one of them was the Bridges interception. And so I don't kill them as much as everybody else does for the not going to man as often. They need to do it a little more, but I don't have a problem with them running man at a lower rate. The bigger issue to me is you never do anything to generate pressure after you told us that is how you can cover it. Is you will generate pressure, you will scheme it up.
Just try it out. Like literally, what do you have to lose? Especially on the road. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, maybe you get a pick, maybe you get a batted ball.
I think
fumble.
you heard Marquise Bell with the sham call going on a blitz there. Did not matter.
No, didn't matter.
Nothing is good. Nothing matters. This is the most empty I felt like driving in terms of, I know Wolchuk is always full of the hot takes. I listen to the post-game show. But I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I just felt empty because, and it's not the first time I've ever felt this with the Cowboys defense. We just referenced 2020 and we saw Rob Ryan and Mike Nolan. And you just know I can't get upset anymore when this defense is on the field. That's why I give a humongous star down to Brian Schottenheimer. This isn't going to win the game, but I have a real problem with his decision on 4th and 5 to punt on your own 45 in the third quarter down 13. That was awful. That was terrible. Bridges then goes for 39. Murray, 12 yards. That was Kenneth Murray. Romo's like, hey, you guys are supposed to be playing at the sticks or like a yard ahead of the sticks. It was a 3rd and 10. Kenneth Murray in coverage was 12 yards back. Then Franklin versus Bridges makes it 34-17. But I had a humongous problem with Brian Schottenheimer. What are you doing? You know your team by
you gotta
now.
know your team.
Enough in terms of like trying to instill confidence. You have to go for that because you're automatically, at the very least, going to be down 16, and you're probably going to be down 20, and they were.
We've given him credit in the past for knowing his team. Last week against Washington, right? There was. But in this one, I just felt that he didn't know his team there. Like, you have to know. You have to know that you cannot stop them, especially you got to know that your offense on the road hasn't performed the way it does at home. This is a 40-point given at home. Dak Prescott's career arc shows you that he is going to score 40 points basically every single game, at least 4 out of every 5 games at home.
A lot of people are also getting on Shoddy for the offensive play calling not being aggressive enough going downfield. I heard Wolchuk question the Broncos safeties.
They couldn't block anything. I don't know how much time they thought they were going to have to develop pass plays down the field. I wish they could throw the ball down the field more. That yesterday you were getting just destroyed. How many times did it feel like? Because obviously it feels different, I feel like, in the stadium than it does on TV sometimes. Sometimes it feels better, sometimes it feels worse, depending on what it is. But, for me yesterday, I felt like it was he didn't even get to his final plant in his drop back before he started running most plays. Because it was got to move around. He couldn't get in rhythm at all yesterday. Now, he didn't help matters. He didn't make great throws in a lot of instances, but I don't think you could push the ball downfield yesterday. There wasn't an opportunity to.
And I go back and forth on whether I really want to criticize a coach for, going downfield or running the ball or not, because a lot of times the quarterback decides what the protection or what the defense is showing you on whether or not they're going to throw or they're going to run in that situation. So I even go back and forth on that. I don't want to get too into the weeds on that for him.
Look, they've had success really pressuring teams in the intermediate areas and trying to pressure teams with the width of the field. They've had success with that sort of stuff this year. So it doesn't have to all be pushing it down the field. You want some of that, but it doesn't have to all be that way. Yesterday, I don't know that you could have. The 4th and 5, you have to go for it. I'm sure I didn't hear Schottenheimer's post-game press conference. I'm guessing if that came up, what he said is, if we turn the ball over right there, they're in field goal range then. And they're in field goal range then. And now we're talking about expanding the lead. And we got.
Well, they're going to be in field goal range in 2 plays.
Yeah, they're in touchdown range.
I'm sure he's going to say, he would say, we played better defense. That was the first drive back. We played better defense on the last drive. There was some optimism there. We hadn't seen them. We thought we had adjusted, done some different things. I'm guessing he would have cut it that way.
What yard line were they at that time? It was
45.
Yeah, you're in field goal range.
Yeah,
with Brandon Aubrey in the altitude, the Cowboys were in field goal range.
Just a little inconsistent there. Shoddy was asked, does the lack of consistency frustrate him?
I think it frustrates all of us, because, again, I said it, and, Todd, asked the question, well, why do you think you're a good football team? Well, I think we have talent. We have weapons. We can score against anybody in the league. We've showed people we can play good run defense, and we can do those things. But, yeah, you'd be crazy. I'd be lying to you if I said you don't get frustrated. We're better than that. But we didn't play good today. So you don't You don't get on the plane and not turn on your iPad, and you don't start pointing fingers at everybody else, and you don't say, oh, that's Clayton Adams' fault, No, that's bullshit. It starts with me, and the coordinators and the players have to do their part, and we will do that.
He's protecting people. This is what he's doing. And it's fine. It's admirable. I don't know if he feels he has to do that as a first-year head coach, that he has to shoulder a lot of that and he has to protect people. But, the question that you need to probably hit Schottenheimer with in that instance is just in general, because it reached this point with Bones Fossil. Bones Fossil, and Greg Zuerlein was missing field goals every week, and people were getting frustrated with it. And he kept getting asked, why is he out there? And he'd say, I've seen him do it before. Seen him do it before, blah, blah, blah. I've seen him do this and that. And, you asked Fossil at one point, you just said to him, okay, at what point does this happen enough times that it now beats what you've seen before? Mm-hmm. And I remember he answered that question. He waited 10 seconds and went, there's got to be some point. I don't know. And that's the thing. There's got to be some point where it doesn't matter what you've seen from Eberflus or others. It's got to change.